strategy around the bar business, whatever industry, whatever business you're in, you need to compete for revenues. You need to compete for revenue streams. You want to engage your new customers. You want to reach out to keep your loyal customers and get conversations going with them. Well, in the bar business, that strategy takes on all kinds of unique things to do. Today on the Pulse on Business, we're going to take a look at the bar business in Boston with a very specific bar, the greatest bar across from the TD Garden in downtown. For a closer look at the bar business, we turn to Phil Ayoub, who's a host of a show called Single MENtality here on the Pulse Network. And who better as a bar expert than Phil Ayoub? Here you go.
The greatest bar. If anybody knows about bars in Boston, that would be me, Phil Ayoub, the host of Single MENtality. But today I'm here for the Pulse on Business, finally putting my MBA to good use. We're going to talk to the greatest bar about what it takes to compete in the bar business today on the Pulse on Business. We're here with events manager Jill Gallien. Jill, thanks for being with us.
You're welcome.
Jill, what makes the greatest bar unique?
I would say one of the biggest things that makes us stand apart from other bars is we have a 14-foot TV.
Okay.
It's the largest HD TV in Boston, and pretty much everywhere you look on the first floor, there's a TV. So if you're coming to watch a game, you're never going to miss play.
I'd say the one thing that makes us probably most unique is the fact that we are a 4-floor venue. Mm-hmm. Not only are we 4 floors, but every floor kind of has its own atmosphere or kind of feel, where we have a sports bar type on the first floor. Second floor is like a mezzanine level where you can actually, kind of overlook the first floor and what's going on, watch the game on the 14-foot TV we have. Third floor is more of, celebrates some music and movies and that type of thing that came out of the city of Boston. And then when you go up to the fourth floor, it's more of, celebration of the city of Boston, the neighborhoods, and the cultural events that have happened over the years throughout the city.
And we're in the greatest sports city in the world, in my opinion. How do you guys manage being in the shadows of the Garden with all the sports events that are there? How do you manage competing with the other bars that are around here on event nights and then also on non-event nights?
Well, that's the thing I think, that really sets us apart also is being across the street from the Garden, where a lot of our crowd comes from the Bruins games, the Celtics games, or any event that's held there.
We also have nightlife on the weekends, on Friday and Saturday. We have DJs that come in and promoters that also pack in a crowd. And then also we kind of fill that in with, we have bands during the week, and then we have special events as well. So kind of a mix of everything.
Okay. Now, as a social media company, as we are, how do you guys use social media for business?
Yeah, we utilize Facebook and Twitter. It's definitely a great marketing tool because it's free, and you have immediate access to tons of people that are already interested in the bar and like the bar. So it's definitely a way that we can promote events that we have going on here.
Social media has become such a big part of the game. Word of mouth hasn't really taken a back seat, but it's just probably right up there with social media, and if we don't stay on top of that, you kind of lose a step.
You mentioned word of mouth. Historically, word of mouth is probably the biggest way that I think bars get to be known, but now we're seeing an emergence of social media, Twitter, and those kind of things. Where do you think that could go? Do you think it could be replaced by Twitter and other online things?
Yeah, no, I definitely think it can. I mean, obviously, back in the day before social media really kind of came on the scene and kind of stole the show, it was people talking about, hey, where'd you go last weekend? How was it? Or the people that were trying to promote for us would be going out talking to people or passing out physical marketing materials, flyers and coupons and stuff like that, where now everything's online. Half the time now you can go on Twitter or Facebook and someone can post a picture and you can go right on your phone and you can see, all right, this is going on tonight at this bar or that bar. So it's one of those things where I think social media can kind of really take over the entire promotional aspect for anybody, whereas with smartphones nowadays, the capabilities they have was I could basically almost in a sense tap into a security system type deal where I can watch as it's happening what's going on at a bar and make my decision as to where I want to go or how I feel that bar will be for the night.
Now, when you have people in the bar, how do you direct them to your social media presence?
We have one TV that's more of like a marketing TV for us, where it flashes different flyers of things we have going on, and then it will say, our Twitter name, our website, check us out on Facebook, and then also one of our resident DJs, Josh Carl, he's a video DJ, so on the bottom of the videos it will say, follow us on Twitter, and it will say, @TheGreatestBar. So we're constantly driving people towards the social media avenues as to gain, more of like a following that way, where people can go on and say, oh, I follow the Greatest Bar on Twitter. What's going on tonight? Do they have any pictures posted? And something like that.
You probably don't know this, but I host a show called Single MENtality as well, which is a lifestyle show.
I've heard about it.
Oh, okay, great. So I'm actually curious about this question. Do you guys market to men and women any differently?
Because our bar is a sports bar but also a nightclub, we definitely market to different niches. So, if we are marketing to the sports crowd, that is heavily based, with males. But our nightlife is men and women. One of the special things that we do is bachelorette parties. We've had so many parties that come through on the weekends, so we started these packages and we started marketing them, and it's actually been really great. People come in. We have like 5 to 10 parties every weekend.
So the bar business is so competitive, and not only do you have to try to compete for business right now, but also to try to keep it hot long term. How do you guys do that with the Greatest Bar?
The way we do that is, we really set ourselves apart with the events we're able to host because we're such a big venue. We do a lot of corporate events, a lot of birthday parties, bachelorette parties, but then also weekends, Fridays, Saturday nights. We have different promoters that come in. They bring DJs. So, we always have something different going on every night of the week that will be able to pull a different crowd, but also be able to bring people back that were here the week before or, had an experience here where they said, hey, I had a great time. I'm going to check out what's going on, and we can bring them right back in.
We're always on our feet trying to think of new ideas to make the bar stand out. One of the things we have right now, we just brought in 3 skee ball machines. So I think there's maybe one other bar in Boston that has them, and it's been a huge hit.
Okay.
We have Ski Nation comes in every week, and we have skee ball leagues, and people love it.
Now, you guys also have a connection to Dirty Water TV, which I'm sure a lot of people have seen. What is that connection, and what has it done for you guys?
Connection between the bar and Dirty Water is Billy Fairweather, one of the owners here, one of the founders, is also the founder and one of the owners of Dirty Water TV. So it's good for us to have that connection where they can come in and film bits here and really get the buzz going. And then it's great advertising for us when it's on NESN. On the weekends, people are watching it and they'll see our commercials, they'll see clips from the bar. So it's just one of those other avenues that we have that kind of gives us a leg up.
Last question.
Yeah.
What do you tell your friends when they ask, what is the Greatest Bar?
The Greatest Bar is the Greatest Bar for so many different reasons.
To me, the Greatest Bar, when I'm talking to my friends, is more than just a name. Not only are we 4 floors, but we're 4 different floors.
We have a huge space. We also celebrate all the great things about Boston, the greatest things in sports and culture and music.
Great. Thank you so much, Jill Gallien, events manager at the Greatest Bar.
No matter where you go in the building, you feel like it's a different atmosphere on every floor, from the decor or like the music and lighting. It's just one of those things where it sets us apart. The Greatest Bar is definitely more than just a name. It's an atmosphere.
And all different experiences on different floors
Absolutely.
under the same roof. Jim Ferola, General Manager of the Greatest Bar, thanks so much for spending some time with us. We
Thanks, Phil.
appreciate it. Greatest Bar, Friend Street in Boston. Come on down, check it out.
So takeaways, lessons learned on business strategy from what the Greatest Bar is doing to compete in the bar business. There's a few things I took away from that. Number 1, decide what you do best. What's unique about whatever you do, whatever business you're in, whatever industry you're in. What do you do best? What sets you apart? Jimmy Ferola, the GM there, mentioning that phrase several times. It sets us apart. It sets us apart. They're proud about that. So decide what you do best, what's unique about your business, and what sets yourself apart from your competition. Market that. Market that. Send that message out in all different ways. They use television, publications, radio, social media. Julie Fairweather, who is the heart and soul behind the PR machine for the Greatest Bar, I know, pushes that all out. A market to your existing and your new customers. Try to get the new people to come in the bar. The bar business is all about getting people to walk through the door, sample what you have, and buy your products and your services, of course. Develop new revenue streams. They're down by the Boston Garden on event nights or non-event nights. They're catering to parties on non-event nights, trying to get people to come down there, which really isn't a destination, North Station, when there aren't events going on. When there are event nights, take advantage of what's going on with those events. The last couple of things, give people a reason to talk about you. Now, in the bar business, sometimes that can be a bad reason because things happen in the bar business, fights break out and all that stuff, but do your best to give people a reason to talk about you. Tell stories about yourself. Let your customers, let your advocates, the people who love your place, engage them in conversations using social media. The new ideas with the skee ball. Think of new ideas of things you can do. Our thanks to Kyle McNaught, producer, Pat Leonard, videographer, and Phil Ayoub, reporter, for hosting that piece. And our thanks to Jill Gallien and Jimmy Ferola at The Greatest Bar for being interviewed for that feature here on the Pulse on Business. And our thanks to Billy and Julie Fairweather, who run The Greatest Bar, along with a whole cast of characters and people, for a look at business strategy and a closer look into the bar business.